To whom much is given, much is required. You've given freely that holy water. Promise to honor all.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zwi and welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back and welcome to this new series that is going to be dropping every Thursday. What is this series about? This is about me sharing openly and transparently about the state of my finances, because right now, guys, my finances are not working. My finances have not been working for the past few months, maybe close to a year. Less than a year, but for the past few months, like, I'm not happy with the state of my finances, and I want to share transparently because I'm starting this journey to correct what needs to be corrected. I'm starting this journey to do better, and I thought if I can share here transparently, I'll probably get a lot of tips from you guys, but also we will be able to have an open conversation that can help all of us to do better. And I think so many mommies and so many women in general are going to relate to this, because we all go through seasons in our life where the finances are just not financing. And you know, that is me at the moment, and that is how I feel. So yeah, this is why we are starting this series. I'm going to be dropping a video every Thursday as I take you through the journey of what I'm doing, of what I'm correcting, of the things that I'm changing, of the habits that I'm adopting, and also sharing just how I got here, right? So I have my phone and I have my notes on my phone because I needed to write down everything that I want to talk about so that I don't forget. So I'm going to be referring to my phone. So when you see me looking down, don't be surprised, right? I'm not reading, but I'm referring to the notes so that I can share in a structured and coherent manner, right? So let me give a bit of a background, right? Especially for those who are new to the channel or for those who have not caught up. I moved to Canada with my children in July of 2025, last year, right? That's less than a year. So that's about 10 months ago, right? And what that meant is I had to invest heavily into the move for a number of reasons. So number one, I moved for school. I came here to do my master's degree, and obviously I had to pay tuition. It's a 1-year program. I'm almost done. Actually, it's over a year. It's a 15-month program, I think. So I'm almost done. But I needed to invest in the tuition and all those school expenses. That's number one. Number two, the process of applying for visas was also quite expensive. And remember, I was not just applying for a visa just for myself, but it was for my children as well. So there was a lot that was involved in applying for the visas, from the application fees to medicals, taking pictures. It was just a lot of tiny things that just added up, and it was quite a significant investment for the three of us, right? And then adding on to that, we also had to pay for flights for 3 people, and I really wanted the children to have a good experience of the move. I'm the one who made them move. I was making move for my own dreams, for my own ambitions. They never said that they wanted to just up and move to Canada for a full year, you know what I mean? So I was making them move, and I wanted that experience to be a good one for them. And it was our first time traveling outside of Africa together. We had never been outside of the continent together, you know. So I wanted it to be a good experience. So we paid for flights, and I did premium economy, which, you know, premium economy is a bit pricey, right? Compared to normal economy, it can be a bit pricey depending on when you book. I booked at the last minute because I was waiting for the visas, so it was definitely pricey, but it was totally worth it. We had such a pleasant, you know, experience, you know, flying over to Canada. We only had one layover in France. It was so nice. Like, it was such a nice journey. We really enjoyed it. But again, that's money out of the bank. Okay. And then once we got here, the very first week I had to invest in our Airbnb accommodation. Again, we had a nice Airbnb. Each one of us had a bedroom to themselves, and it was a very nice, homely Airbnb. It was in downtown Ottawa, which is like a downtown Ottawa is beautiful. I love downtown Ottawa. It's just across the road from Parliament, across the road from the U.S. Embassy. It's just a beautiful, beautiful area where our Airbnb was. But again, that's money. Can you see, as I'm counting all these things, that's money coming out of the bank, right? And then the very first day that we landed, we actually rented a car from the airport. Just the moment we got to the airport, we rented a car, and it was a truck because we had 15 bags. Yes, I'm sure you guys have seen some of my videos, but yeah, we did have 15 bags. So we rented a car. That's money out of the bank. And then what else? Okay, and then after that, I had also invested in renting a house for us. So after the 1 week at the Airbnb was over, we then moved into our new home. And I did not want the kids to feel the difference from the type of home that we have back in South Africa, right? I didn't want them to feel like, their lives have really been downgraded. I still wanted them to be comfortable. So we rented a beautiful house. You guys have seen, I've done a house tour before. If you scroll back to one of my earlier videos, you'll see the house tour. So beautiful 4-bedroom house with a garden, beautiful area, the works, right? But that's a monthly expense. But also because I needed to pay the deposit, again, money out of savings. And then it was an empty house that needed furnishing. So I'm talking from everything from the bed to a couch to a TV, you name it. However, there are certain things that I carried with me. The reason why we had 15 bags is because we carried certain things with us, right? So for example, I carried my very expensive Salad Master cookware, my Salad Master pots and pans. I carried those. We carried our PlayStation, the PS5. We carried, I can't remember what else, but there are a few things that we carried that would have cost an arm and a leg. I mean, a Salad Master cookware set can cost to above $2,000, not rands, $2,000. So that's a lot of money, right? For the full set. So I carried that with me. And you all know the price of a PS5. So there's a few things that we carried, but there are things that we just could not carry because even if we had wanted to get them shipped, it would have cost us a lot of money. So couches, beds, bedding, TV, air fryer, those little things that just make a home into what it is, But also I'm grateful for my landlord because there are certain things that he left for us. So for example, he left curtains for us. I didn't have to buy curtains. I can do that later. If we stay here, then I would, then upgrade the curtains or whatever. But I'm happy with what we have. But saying all this to say, that's money literally leaving my bank account. Let me check my notes. What else? Yeah, so I think as far as moving to Canada is concerned, those are some of the expenses, that have really taken me back. But I think the main thing for me was I was not moving alone. I was moving with the children. I wanted them to be comfortable. And also I'm the one that's inconveniencing them. They moved for me. You know what I mean? This is me who wanted to pursue this degree. I wanted to pursue my dreams. I'm doing a program in philanthropy and nonprofit leadership. It's aligned with my goals. It's aligned with my future goals. It's aligned with my career path. So they had to move for me. So I did not want them to feel like, I just didn't want them to be inconvenienced, and I didn't want them to be unhappy. You know what I mean? Although my kids are very easygoing for the most part, they are not really complicated kids, but still I wanted them to be comfortable. So that's where the money went to. Now that's on the move to Canada. What are the other things that I've invested in the past 1 year that have also contributed to my current financial status? The other thing is, in the last 2 years, I've built my mother a new house, right? So for those who don't know, my dad passed away 5 years ago. In 2021, and after he passed away, so he left behind like a house in the city, which obviously my mother has now taken over, but my mother doesn't live in that house. She lives in the village. So my nephew lives in the house in the city. But in the village, my father also left her in a house which was falling apart. It was not in a good shape. And after he passed away, actually, it became worse. The house was literally falling apart. And I invested in building my mother a new one. Instead of renovating that one, I just built a new one next to that one. Beautiful house, 3-bedroomed and suite, you name it, all those things. But what I also did over the last 2 years, in addition to buildings, I then invested in a whole borehole, solar-powered borehole system. So now she has running water in the village. I invested in solar for her, so the whole house is solar powered. She's got everything that she needs. She's got a fridge, she's got everything that you can think of, in a house in the city. She has it all. She's got Wi-Fi, what's it called, Starlink Wi-Fi. She's got DSTV. Like, she's literally living like as though she was living in the city, right? But that has been a huge financial commitment from my end. And even now, there are certain things that are not yet fully finished. So, for example, she's got running water, but we are now in the process of installing a septic tank so that she can have a toilet that actually flushes, and she can actually use the shower and the tub, which are inside the house. And then also the house is not painted. So now we are going to be investing in actually painting the house so that it actually looks nice. It already looks very good. It's tiled, beautiful tiles. It's a beautiful house, but there are certain finer touches that we are now investing in. But again, that's, it's into my finances. So I can say the last 2 years already were a big financial stretch, but more so the last year, the last few months, because of the move to Canada, right? Now, after moving to Canada, what has contributed to me being in a state where my finances are not working? I think I was just overwhelmed with everything that was going on, because I moved but continued with my job. I still work full time, and I'm going to school. And in between that, in the last 8 months, I don't know how many trips I've had. I have traveled so much. I went to Kenya, came back, went to Senegal and Ghana, came back, went to Kenya again, went to the UK, then went to Kenya again, because our office is in Kenya. Like, I've just had a lot of travel, a lot of work. It's been so hectic that I have neglected certain aspects of my life. And one of the aspects that I've neglected is actually the finances. So I used to have a budget, which I shared with you guys at some point. Remember, I had my budget on my iPad. I would, literally write it out. I would take time every month to write out what I spent and everything. I was so good at tracking. I totally stopped doing that. Right now, guys, I'm operating from thin air. I don't have a budget. I mean, I know what I'm supposed to spend, but I'm not tracking. Like, get fun, and you're like, it's as good as not having a budget, right? So that is not going well. I feel like I've been overdoing it with shopping of late, especially shopping for clothes. Yeah, I feel like I've been overdoing it. I'm literally just not tracking where my money is going. I don't know where my money is going. I mean, I've got things, I've got expenses, but I don't have a clear, structured way of tracking. And that is not good. That is not the way to do it. You know what I mean? And I should know better, right? So this is why we are here now. So what does that mean? It means that I'm resetting. I'm literally spring cleaning my finances. And there's 4 pillars that I'm going to be looking at in this journey of spring cleaning my finances. The first pillar that I'm going to be looking at is my expenses. I really critically need to look at my expenses. The second pillar is my income. and I don't have much control over my income. But I have to relook at that. The third pillar is my savings. I have to look at how I'm doing with my savings, because you can't do without savings. And the fourth pillar is investments. Investments will be the last thing that I look at. I need to get these three right first before I can even think of investments, right? So that's what those are the four pillars that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. And I'm going to be taking you guys through my process of trying to fix what is broken with my finances, because the truth is a lot is broken where my finances are concerned. So it's time to fix it. Join me on this journey, guys, and I'll see you on episode 2. Thanks for watching.
To whom much is given,